Welcome to Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Ray.
Hey, guess what we're getting to do?
Oh.
Bakers!
Oh,
A
yeah.
Beam Suntory classic, right?
Yeah.
So they have in there's like small batch line.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a new cork.
Yeah, no, the whole thing is new. The whole bottle, everything about it, including what's in it. Now, okay.
Yeah.
When Maker's Mark took off and exploded, they were answering a need in the market that was sort of vacant, which was luxury bourbon. At the time, which is like 80s, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, it started anyway. Think 80s. It started before that, but the bulk of bourbon was a rush to the budget line, and Makers came out and was like, "No, f you, we're expensive. We're gonna make good." And they didn't discover, but remembered that there was a whole market for people who liked nice bourbon.
Yeah.
And so Beam Suntory, which wasn't Beam Suntory at the time, Beam released their line of small batch, and it was Baker's, Booker's, Knob Creek, Basil Hayden.
Can I tell you right now, if my memory serves, I think Booker's is the more widely
Sought after. Yeah.
I seem to remember being partial to the Bakers over the Bookers.
Me too, but, and then you've got Basil Hayden, which has sort of now become this huge line of like 18 kinds of Basil
And
Hayden.
I'm remembering this from a few years ago. So
Yeah, and then there's, Knob, which, I mean, it's become a classic bourbon, right? So here's what's cool about this. They've switched what Baker's is.
Oh.
Which...
Wait, from what I liked?
Yeah, so, there's a website, Breaking Bourbon.
Yeah.
Great review site. But he said something that I was thinking, but not as clearly as he was, and so I'm just going to quote him.
Yeah.
And his statement was effectively that Baker's was always lost in the mix.
Yeah.
It's not Booker's, it's not Knob, it's Basil Hayden. They all had kind of an identity.
No, absolutely. That has been my sense.
Baker's sort of got lost in the identity wars. And they have reestablished a new thing, which is now Baker's is single barrel releases.
Okay.
The others aren't.
Interesting.
Right? Think of like Blanton's.
Yeah.
Right?
They got like new branding to go with that, I guess.
Minimum 7 years.
What it says up
The
top.
one we're doing
Yeah.
is actually older than that. The one that we're doing, I saw it written over here somewhere. There it is.
It's 107
8
proof.
years, 10 months.
Yeah.
This is barreled on February 2014.
Okay.
But we're getting a single barrel.
I think I did see 107 proof, 53.5%.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's barrel proof. They might have proved it down to 107.
Yeah, interesting proof choice though. I mean, especially if you're doing single barrel releases. I wonder if that was a proof specifically for this barrel, or if they just say, here is our standard proof for all of these single barrel releases, which would definitely be more efficient. But if you hear noise, there's people right outside the vault door getting really loud.
Nope, shut it.
Sorry, I didn't.
That's exactly why I prefaced. I don't think we did it in this video.
No, it was the other video.
Yeah, yesterday I was like, hey, in this batch we might be interrupted.
Hello.
There it is. We've got a class going and like 8 Psalms in the group.
It's like they break and immediately they all rush to the vault.
Yeah, no, they are. It's a perk.
Okay, man, I'm already on the nose of this.
There's evidently a 7 and a limited edition 13, but we're doing the 7.
Okay, so such a beautifully developed and matured oaky cherry, which from in a bourbon,
It's the rye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a relatively low rye comparatively. It's 13%, I think.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, and it's got a little sandalwood mixed with the brown sugar. It's a beautiful nose. I love this nose.
There's a, I think sandalwood is what I was about to land on. That's not sweet, but it's not too tanniny.
Yeah.
It's a round oak note.
It's rare that I get the opportunity to have Bakers, but whenever I do, it's like, holy hell, this is really nice. I'm glad they did what you said they're doing by trying to
give it a new identity.
Yes, yeah.
This is the wallflowers of bourbons.
Trying to give it, some new branding, give it, some clarity on what exactly this line is. I like the idea of 7 years minimum in single barrels. I think it's very,
this is the one you forget about, and then you go back and you'll remember how much you like it.
Yeah.
So it's like the One Headlight album. You forget about that album, and then you go back and you're like, this is a good album, song for song.
Okay.
A little wicker note creeping through.
Man.
Some
cinnamon on the
black pepper on that.
Yeah.
So it's a cherry jam on cinnamon toast, which is a weird combo.
The oak is,
but it works.
Yeah, the oak is very present, but it doesn't get heavy-handed.
Yeah, and then it's a sprinkled black pepper, somehow zestiness to it. That's nice.
I get the cherry. I also get some black tea with almost. So there's this.
The astringency.
Yeah. The black tea, the astringency. But there's this drive-through place over down the road, HTO. They do like flavored teas.
Huh.
You haven't been?
No, I didn't even know about it.
No, it's really nice.
All right.
They have unsweet,
Hot
sweet.
and ice, or
No, just all ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they just herb teas.
Yeah. Iced teas.
There's a place like that in Waco
place.
at the Chip and Joanna's place, the Magnolia.
Yeah.
They have like an iced tea truck.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
So
Iced tea's good.
the kind of the fruit flavored things, I'm getting the tea note. But if they had a cherry flavored version of the unsweet tea,
But cherry with the black tea base.
Yeah,
So it's mostly plain black tea,
Yeah.
not cherry flavored tea.
yeah, I like the hell out of the nose and the palate so far.
And then it starts to turn into a creamy cinnamon, like horchata. Right? This sort of like soft and velvety. That's really good. I've been seeing this bottle, and I wanted to try this new whole plan.
Yeah,
and it's not new anymore, by the way, but it was new. And so this is my excuse, and I'm really, really grateful we got to do it because
I'm pleased,
it's that good.
I'm pleased to say that Baker's, before they did all these changes, was in the back of my head something that probably deserved more.
It was solid. It was always solid.
Yeah, it was actually, preferable for me at least.
Dude, that's it.
It's close, yeah.
It's the dart game.
It's preferable for me at least over the Bookers.
Yes.
This, I hope, makes Baker's more interesting to more people.
Because you're more willing for variance when you know you're getting a single
barrel, yeah.
And I love
it
when,
makes it more fun to go exploring across releases.
Yeah, I love when big brands start embracing variants and releases.
This was, I wonder how long it took him to get to this shape of release. It's like, guys, let's do single barrel.
Yeah.
Let's do minimum of 7 years. Let's, I'm curious as to how they're landing on that proof, whether or not it's...
I think one of the best things that craft has done to American whiskey.
To force the hand of the big guys to actually do some interesting
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and to their credit, they are.
A lot of them are, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, you got like, is it Four Roses doing? No, you've got Maker's Mark doing the toast variations and French, oak and all. Here's their different profiles.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that the innovation of craft is forcing the big guys to keep up with innovation. And you see it in Ireland with Middleton doing Method and Madness.
Yeah.
You see it in Scotland. Yeah.
The front-leading note on the taste and the nose continues to be that cherry.
Now that you said tea, I cannot get away from the nose being a glass of tea.
We have Zhang 2359. I do actually like when you guys share what your local prices for some of the more common accessible stuff.
Damn it. I put that comment in there because I meant to write in a marker.
It is at least
price.
a jumping off point for comparing price and quality.
Yeah.
Kinda, man. Sometimes.
No. For us, it's a jumping off point for at least it gives me some context.
Yeah, other people will be like, what? I get it for, 3 times that much or half that much. It's like, this is, at a certain point, irrelevant because the prices can vary so much.
So right now, if we bought this at Total Wine in our area, it's $67.
Okay. All right.
So a $70 a small batch, right? Which is fair.
A single barrel, minimum 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a big company.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We have Patrick Jessic,
Je ne sais quoi?
we're 2203. First time I saw Richard Patterson yeet a 2-ounce pour of scotch, I realized I've chosen the wrong hobby for being this broke.
Yeah. That's the thing. So here's what I love about Richard is that's a polarizing move he does. And he'll do it with like 30-year-old Dalmore, right?
Yeah. Do you have like nerds diving with their glass trying to
Yeah, I 100% understand
Yeah.
the people who are pissed off by Richard Patterson as this sort of like, fuck, that guy is pretentious, throwing 30-year-old whiskey, he didn't care. That's not how you do it. You don't need to.
Yeah.
I understand that because every time I see him on a video go shoot to a 30-year-old Delmar, I'm like, oh God. But I also, in our position as the marketing school guy, I also
respect the game.
100%
Respect the game.
The commitment.
Right. Like here's the situation.
Yeah.
The fact that there's so many people that just get apoplectic when it does it. Guys, a lot of that is the point.
That's why he's doing it.
Yeah. So you think you're like pushing back and it's not okay. It's like, no, you were feeding that beast. You were giving them exactly what they want. The more that you resist, and then the other people would be like, oh my gosh, I got such a baller move, just throwing shit around like you didn't even.
I think I would be annoyed if he didn't have the skills to back it up.
Yeah, no, true.
But he is actually legit whiskey guy.
He's very talented.
He does know what he's doing. And that makes me a little bit more like, all right, you do you.
It's a small example of the value of spectacle. Mm-hmm. It is what it is.
Harry Houdini.
Yeah.
Go through all of time and history and you find a little bit of the spectacle moments.
It is. So
this is why, though, I've chosen such a subtle approach to whiskey education.
You know what? The number of times that I meet people that are profoundly, not even in whiskey, but just in whatever their area of expertise, like profoundly, deeply talented and knowledgeable, like world class.
Oh yeah.
And you know they have that desire to share what they know with the world, but the limiting factor for them is very often they insist on doing it on their terms
or appropriately.
And it's like that's not how the world works, my man. You have to meet people where they are. Once you understand how the human mind is built, how the human mind wants to, seek out information, but you give them that dose once, what's going to get them to come back again and again and again? Like if you're not meeting them at some type of relatable, fun, spectacle, identifiable, just whatever it is, some type of stickiness in that process, then okay, you taught somebody a lesson once and then they forget about you 20 minutes later.
Yep.
But the whipping 30-year-old whiskeys across the room, it's like
unforgettable.
The next time you're drinking whiskey with your nerd friends, have you guys seen he's like Patterson or something?
He throws whiskey on the ground?
Patson, I don't know, but he got a 30-year-old whiskey and he whipped it across the room like it was nothing. That's the point. That's why he's at the level that it is. It's just shitty because it's so frustrating for people to be at that level and realize the thing that's holding them back isn't that one little bit of knowledge and information and expertise.
Or talent.
Yeah, it's like, no. You have everything you need. You've had everything you need for like decades probably.
Yeah.
What you have to do is realize that all the people you're trying to reach aren't at this level. Yeah. They're down there.
Yeah.
So how do you maintain the integrity of everything that you know?
You made an entire career out of forcing business people to talk at that level.
Yeah. But when they do, when you can get them to be accessible to human beings, then they become wildly successful and they can leverage all of that knowledge and information and expertise that they have. But until then, it is an exercise in frustration for so many people that could be world class.
Yeah.
All right. Was that it? Was that the thing? All right. Hey, that was a very irrelevant rant. Here's dividing.
I feel like it is.
Here's dividing, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
You steal, may you steal your liver's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink
with us.